Are you ready to go, Mike?
You are unmuted and there's nobody waiting, so.
Okay, so there's calling the meeting to order at 10:03. This is actually a public hearing notice, or a public hearing. It has to do with the grant we are applying for the demolishing of the old Lee County Law Enforcement Center, making it shovel ready. A number of years ago, we started talking about that and what it would cost to demolish. I believe the figure came in at about $1.3 million plus or minus. And we are applying though for a grant, a Rebuild Illinois Grant Fund. The amount requested is $1,020,651. And we found out that as part of the grant application, we had to have a special public hearing, and that is what we're having today, to accompany the grant application. We have to have a public hearing, we have to take minutes of this, and we have to have the attendance of this meeting. People can speak against the use of public funds for the 20% the county will have to come up with to take care of this grant, but it all has to be sent along with the grant application. So that's the reason we're having this today. Now, we will have a half-hour meeting here, and that should give people adequate time to speak for or against it. On Tuesday, we have to have a special county board meeting to approve what we did today and to approve the resolution that will be attached to the grant application. And that will be a one-item agenda taking place at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, right before properties meeting. So if anybody has anything they would like to say, they will have to come up here, stay 5 feet away from me, please. But they can speak either pro or con or using public funds for facilitating this grant. The grant will be for, as I say, $1,020,651, and we will be required, if we get the grant, to pay 20% of that. So if anybody has anything to speak about, now will be the time.
Just got a question on money now. We're applying for how much? You said real quick.
$1,020,000, $651. She has a copy of it.
Okay, thank you.
Dave, you need a copy? That's public hearing notice, that
Okay.
pretty much the nuts and bolts of what we're doing today and why we're doing. Kevin, I think's got all that information.
When will they let us know? Successful.
Honestly, I don't know. I know that there's not really a deadline per Greg. Kevin might know more about that than I do. But I think the
It's the same
deadline.
as the last grant, they'll process it. It's probably still that first come, first served, or it's a rating process to it, but otherwise, as they go through it, I don't know, probably a lot of
They have a total amount in the budget now, what's that?
it's my understanding, I don't know what that is. Many grants open with that.
This is related to the second grant. that They pulled. Second grant for remodeling, not just, is this the grant for remodeling?
This is the grant we're speaking of today at this meeting is for the demolition of the old LEC, the old jail and sheriff's office.
Remodeling and
Demolition,
and we had a motion I thought I read, so, oh wait, I'm confused, but I read that. If we don't get that grant, we don't abolish this point,
That's where it stands right now.
that will still carry forward.
Motion was made that if we don't get this grant for $1 million plus that we're discussing, we don't go forward with the demolition.
But the remodeling on third floor is totally,
Apples and oranges. It's done. I mean, there's
thank you.
two different sets of money.
I got
I know it's confusing because there's several grants kicking around right
it.
now.
I understand.
The remodeling is actually taking place as we speak.
So we're doing that, until
No. Well, yes,
On road money, we already got permission from over.
COVID-19 money, and it was 538 guaranteed.
548, 372 if my memory serves correctly. And some change.
Now we will do the remodel, some of the things we required.
How much do we put in?
It's not a percentage. It's
Okay,
free money, not free, but it's tax money, so it's not. But it's not our tax.
Our estimate on doing the food
Was it 223, Kevin?
Pardon me?
223,000?
He's still collecting, I think, some of his cost estimates, so we can go over there this afternoon.
That Arlen would like to go over. take a vote.
Yeah. And probably you could come with John to make sure that I'm on base.
So we're covered on non-county level for the second grant now. They've given permission to
COVID funding is, the CURE program is to assist in anything directly related to coronavirus.
do they have a, they say it's not capital, it's not related to road.
They basically, I can show you a test question we sent that said that looks like it's approved. They never do give a yes or a no. They say something to the fact that we'll go over that this afternoon later on, but they'll say something to the fact that that looks like COVID funds could apply to that. They hired a contractor to vet all these invoices, ledgers, and narratives that we send in.
The goal of money costs guaranteed, or goals, maybe.
They have allotted over $500,000 to the county. We don't have it in cash.
And the health department didn't obviously want this thing.
They have another grant they received.
City of Dixon. Old Town,
You want to say that?
City, I can show you when we go over there, I got it.
640 to change. 640,000. We already got 40,000. Franklin Road got 10,000. Round figures.
Yeah, but for this grant specifically, we're gonna try, as soon as the resolution is passed, or,
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. As soon as the resolution is passed on Tuesday, we're gonna get this mailed off, because like Kevin said, these funds are like first come, first served. So as soon as the resolution is done, that's the last piece of the grant application, and we're gonna get it mailed off. So, and I'll overnight it for them.
State has a lot.
Well, this is the shovel ready. The COVID money, that was just an allocation, I believe. So we didn't even have to apply for that funding, for the
Right.
COVID money. That's just an allocation that we,
That's not
Christie.
tied up with the federal
I
funding.
don't believe so. I don't know the correct answer, but I don't think so. I think the feds just gave it to, like, they gave the state whatever their allocations were. At least that's what they did for our transportation money specifically.
I maybe asked some questions that are inappropriate, so I have to back out. I'm just trying to figure out where the money came from. I was under the impression that the COVID money is still tied up in them not having the second round. Tax money coming.
Are you thinking about money for businesses?
No,
Because the first lottery money given out for business rebuild is in two forms, $10,000-$20,000. To over $43 million. The first phase of that is already.
I'm just wondering if that can help us some.
As far as I know, looking at the form Kevin gave me a couple days ago, COVID-19 money's strictly my population. I don't know, my persons.
That was in the first round of money, so the state already has it.
It's federal money.
It's better.
No, the federal one won't say.
Correct, well, that's the way federal money always goes, usually you never get it directly, but. So the CURE program is part of the CURES Act. And Illinois got a set amount of dollars, I don't remember that number. There were 5 counties that were directly awarded the cash.
And they have requested almost all the states to do it.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, but the 5 counties were the collar counties in Chicago, all got direct cash, they got a check dumped in there, they got it done. The rest of the state, if you will, town county, or Illinois, received allotments, and we must send in an invoice. We must send in a narrative on that, a paragraph saying why we bought it. And we also must send in a ledger sheet from the treasurer's office showing it's paid.
My own concern, question is the guarantee.
No, I'm gonna say no, it's never anything's guaranteed. So when they you're sitting there in Springfield as the vendor, and you're looking at the sheet and go, I don't know why they bought that, I'm not gonna approve it. And you've already purchased it as a county, and they say, no, that's not guaranteed to me.
Is that a political decision or a government decision?
That's a third-party vendor's been hired to process that. And I don't remember the name of the third-party vendor right now off the top of my head.
So it's,
When we go across the street, I'm gonna give you a website you can go to, and it'll probably answer all these questions much better than I can.
I have some friends still in that.
That's exactly where you need to go. That goes front page, down on the right-hand side, the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid is a CURE program, and you go right there. It's-
Always hard to get hold of because I think I understand, but I understand. All right.
Does anyone have any direct questions related to the shovel-ready portion funding?
Excuse me?
Does anyone have any questions about the shovel-ready grant? The one that we're applying for next week?
One question. If tear down takes more than our grant, what we're putting in and the money, are we obligated to this grant to pick up the difference?
This is a firm bid.
Is this?
Yeah. We're required to pay 20%, so whatever 20% is, but when we put the application in, we're gonna get approved for whatever, say we get approved for the full amount, if we go out for bids for a general contractor to do the project, whatever contract they give us, whatever contract we give the contractor is the amount that they've gotta stick to,
So
correct?
If the tear down takes less money, we could just have more over money for those stuff.
No, we just don't, I don't think we can spend them, unless Kevin, we just have to spend it on whatever the scope is.
The scope of the project is the demolition, yeah, so we have to spend it.
Yeah, so whatever's left over, if there was leftover money, there's just leftover money, but we're only required for 20% of whatever is actually spent.
So
So-
our estimate of what we're putting in the county, the costs, we have $1,000 more, we have 20% more.
We went out and got prices and quotes to make this grant, so I think it's gonna hold fairly close, unless something drastically changes.
These figures are based on Raymond Johnson.
Correct.
Yeah,
We have a contractor.
Ray Stone will put it together.
This is based on $7,000 we give them. Thank you, Larry. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, if there's funds left over, you just don't get them because you're gonna do the same things as we talked about the CURE program. You're gonna send invoices down and they're gonna pay you per invoice. And if you did a great job and got a contractor that was cheaper than what you thought, they're gonna keep the money.
We have to be language specific.
It is all there. We discussed, it was there to be discussed at our county board meeting, and we approved the resolution for enter this grant. Dave Bowers had written up what we were going to do with this money, and I believe, I don't know if it's actually in this particular verbiage here, but I do have it. And it would be a tear down, backfill, moving the fiber, I believe. And think that was pretty much it. The asbestos abatement, I don't have it yet.
There's a T wall that needs to be put in there to
Yeah.
brace up the driveway, there's a fence that needs to be put in to protect people from stepping off that wall, all those things are included.
We talked about that with buttresses, that, we have to have, that wall that's adjacent to the courthouse, it's now a load-bearing wall, that will hold that back, but with the building gone, we have to shore it up. And like Kevin said, we got to put a fence along it.
Our contractor, we did a bid, an enforceable bid, or was it
This would be an estimate, it's not a bid,
so I hope
but that's what they would probably do it for if we were. That's what we
But
would
he's got a
do.
copy there, but that's the bid.
They went out and gathered all the information we needed to supply with it.
So these are coming in just as approximate figures and that.
But I'm sure that Greg Stone is basing his approximate figure on what they would do it for. So they realize that that's the money that they're applying for.
the estimate comes from Rimble Johnson consulting with this, whoever's gonna do the
No, they did the bid. They're the ones that built the new LEC,
bid. Right.
and they're the ones that we've basically been relying on for our bids and estimates.
So their figures are obviously estimates for this, that were on the courthouse.
Well, they're gonna bid higher because they know that whatever we apply for and get funding for, that's what we get. So we only get what we get. So they're gonna wanna go higher because they know that we're not gonna have any money after that is spent. Yeah, so they're gonna know that they're gonna know that they need to go a little bit like higher on whatever it is.
They'll put their own contingencies in on each
Yeah,
line.
all those line items. That we just don't see on our end, but they put them.
And most of the stuff is, we can drill and root it. Based on the change orders, was a whole lot more, less contingency stuff.
Well, there should be a lot of change orders on the demolition project.
This is so you.
It should come in very close. Again, we've not been awarded anything, so we've not chosen contractors yet.
Right. They have any, we have any fear of the old jail or asbestos?
Yes.
This includes it.
And that's included.
Asbestos abatement is included in that.
Asbestos
bid.
So,
Good questions. Brad, you got here a couple minutes after the fact. Are you here to comment on the use of public funds in getting this grant?
No.
Okay.
My comment was, I was curious what was happening with that wall on the north side.
We've had an estimate by Raymond Johnson, who's the company that built the jail. We've been using them for consulting and estimates for, well, ever since we started talking about the jail. It's a company that Dave Bowers, who's the property chairman, is very familiar with. We worked with them extensively up at the they are the ones that provided us with figures to construct that wall and make it stabilized with the fence along the top.
Is that both walls, or is that only the wall towards the east?
Can't answer.
I'm not in, I didn't talk to Raymond, but I'm assuming it's only that wall in on the east, because the other wall is fenced already.
Now that they will be just open the
Is beyond the property scope there. Yeah, they had like over 400,000 just for property,
expensive proposition.
just for wall abutments.
It's not just a slide. Decide if you want to.
The current building, according to what I was in one conference call, the current building is acting as a retaining wall for that driveway.
Correct.
And that all the ancillary equipment sitting in that driveway. And if when they tear that down, they're gonna need to put something back in place in that old driveway will slide away, including generator, gas meters, all the rest of that stuff. Over time, it won't do it. Exactly when they will over time.
On the side note, what generator dollars is courthouse should go in?
Again, that's out of my bailiwick, but as far as I know, nothing.
The question came up, and the one that was pulled it to drag.
In the new courthouse, I think only powers some emergency lighting. Not the whole courthouse.
Candles.
Yeah.
It's worked for a couple hundred years. It worked again for sure.
I knew it's cursed, I'm sitting in this one. There's a long history there.
I specifically got it right here, so I can put my arm on.
Oh, no. I don't know.
That would take the county in that building. Because even when you had your police department in there, you were renting from the county.
I'm just wondering who owns the wall. We're talking 400,000 for the wall on the east side. We already know that wall on the north side. It needs to come out and rebuild. It's already needed. So, I mean, I need to figure out. We had some discussion on whose wall it is.
On the north side or down there at 911?
The north side of the 911, north side of that driveway.
Oh, the north
I
side
had
of
discussion,
911.
I'm like, who owns that wall? I don't know.
Between county and 911?
Yes. We figured when the wall.
No, we have.
The building's gonna get demolished, we figured that all the time to rebuild that wall out, everything else going on. We're talking 400,000 for the wall on the east side. I'm like, we need to have a discussion about this, like, what's that part of the.
I would assume that wall would be cheaper because there's nothing being pushing out against
We
it.
assume this.
Okay, so I'm just.
Yeah, but we need to probably have a,
We need to talk about this, Brad.
we probably need to have a survey done to see who owns this.
Well, it was always assumed that 911 couldn't own property. And so we assumed, and that's wrong to assume, that we own the 911 building. Then we find that, no, that's not necessarily true, that way back when 911 could own the building, we did. So who owns the wall? I'll find
I'm
out.
just curious, because
Yeah, probably have to get a survey done, and, you know.
And if somebody's good at, and maybe you go downstairs and ask Wendy if she's good enough at reading those plat maps,
Yeah.
it will show up on that, so. Before you spend money, that'd be
Oh,
my
yeah.
recommendation. So,
I just want to make sure that we're giving grounds, but there's some problem. And the second one, we have to put in order. I mean, we've got capital.
what's the second one? I'm not
You're
sure.
co-mingling grants.
You keep,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what,
they're not, they're totally separate funding sources.
And they're different.
The one for the third floor of the courthouse is a whole nother set, whole nother area comes from. So this building grant is just two of them. One for demolish and reset, and then the one that we're having a hearing today for nothing but demolition.
And in the demolition, if the demolition takes no, we have one wall, takes no, not one of those. So we have that as, as part of the money available to the state.
There again, that second wall branch talking about has nothing to do with what you're talking about. That is totally different thing we're gonna have to discuss.
And then we not use that example. If the tear down jail, and we don't get the money, it's not possibilities. Comes to the $500,000 more out of it now. Does the county have to put in $500,000 more? Do we know that?
This was the estimate by Raymond Johnson. So that's
Does it say in the grant who pays for the overage?
If they came in and told us that it was gonna be $500,000 more than what we were awarded, I would say that the county board would have to sit down and decide if they wanna move forward. Just because we get the funds doesn't mean that we have to move forward with the project. So, the bid that we have in here, like John said, I'm sure there's plenty of contingency in there. And whatever money we get from IDOT is the contracted amount that we're gonna give to Ringland Johnson, or to whoever wins the bid. It might not be Ringland Johnson that does it.
And on the other side, these costs may come in lower. He may have figured another 20% just to protect himself, and we can come in lower. So we don't know until we bid it out.
But as we will not call it grant. This has nothing to do with this thing we're talking about today. That's something, that's our role.
They won't be doing a whole lot of putting in that side of
It
it.
is, yeah, I don't think it needs $400,000 of electricity.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. Well, it's legal. We can that's.
You looked up property line data.
Knowing John McLean, I have access to prints. Years I can tell the property lines of the original site.
So we would own the wall.
Looks like the west portion of it is on the line, and then the property line actually jots back. Yes, that's so.
I don't know what actually,
That's what-
Remodel the 94. Or operational like 94.
Some rules on retaining walls like fences and stuff like that. Is it on one or the other? Was it a shared wall? That's public and private property at one time. Actually, before the jail, it was still public property, county property. And the car area, the garage, private. Who put up the wall?
they built that jail in 1972.
I think 70, that's correct, sir. That's
70, South
70.
70. I would think, I think they had to put the wall up. Yeah, but it says existing wall right there. So it was there for the old jail.
It's true, parking lot, be about where the old house or whatever that was the old jail. It is.
Part of garages and stuff are. The old jail was more on Third Street. When I see it. And that
The jail face was.
That's before my time.
And that was pretty much old. I
That's
don't,
about what the site map showed.
I don't really remember that. I know Frank Hyde was kind of bringing me to that old house one night. Waiting for my parents to come.
You just got our own bill. Well, I would be.
was gonna say, there was one older lady, was nature. Frank stayed there with me because he wanted us talking to Dad.
She,
Yeah, I don't.
that basically, that was Esther's Island, right? She named it Esther's Island.
Okay, so.
Right, yeah, if there's no other comments, we
If there's
can,
no other comments, we will conclude this hearing, public hearing. It's been there a half an hour. We concluded it at 10:33, Carrie. And you're gonna type up the minutes?
yep, I'll get them typed up this afternoon and you'll have to sign them.
Okay. And we'll get that all around on Tuesday morning, and the board members here, you'll get a notification. If you already have,
And then Dave, can I have that copy back?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I got one.
And you don't have to be here. It's a one-item agenda, as you saw.
Actually, it says here. Support.
You can zoom in if you want, because the whole meeting won't last.
And Brad,